Welcome. Let's talk about the else statement. Now, before we start, if you have not watched the previous video on the if statement, I strongly suggest you go and check that out first, because everything that we're going to talk about now depends upon what we talked about in the previous video. The else statement, in a way, it's the complement of the if statement. It's the other side of it. So it is very important that you understand how the if statement works for you to understand the else statement. We have been talking about the selection programming structure, and the idea of it was that sometimes we have to make a decision and we either take the right path or we take the left path. Now, this is the thing we have here on this design on the left. That is the design of the selection programming structure. But when I introduced the if statement on the previous video, I told you, hey, why don't we think about it in a different way? Instead of thinking about, do I take the right path or do I take the left path? Why don't I instead think about, should I execute some code or should I not? Namely, if it is true, if the condition is true, then I execute this code. If it's not true, then I don't execute it. And to simulate that is that one path, meaning the true path, this one right here, actually has code in it. And the false path, which is right here, has absolutely no code in it, which is empty. Now, to talk about the else statement, we're going to expand the way we think about this scenario here on the right, where we say, well, should I execute this piece of code or should I not? Instead, what I want to say now is, should I execute this piece of code or should I execute this other piece of code? So the design of this selection programming structure looks slightly different, and it looks something like this. In here, we can actually think about, do I execute some code or do I execute some other code? This would be the one code that I can execute, or do I execute the other code, right? So in here, we have two paths, and this looks very similar to our original design of the selection programming structure. Actually, let me put it side by side so you can see it. So if I grab this right here, let's see if I can do this. So if I grab this right here and I can actually move this. So let's see, I can move this right here. Notice that our design that we have here, which we said is which is the selection programming structure, has two paths, a right path and a left path. Well, this design that I have on the left right here looks exactly the same. The only difference is the way that I drew the arrows. On the left side, our mentality is, do I execute this piece of code or do I execute this other piece of code, depending on whether a condition is true and false. The one on the right, the idea is, do I take my right path or do I take my left path? They're essentially, conceptually, they're the same thing. And how we think about it may help us be able to define the logic of our code, but at the end of the day, it is a simple decision that we have to make between two choices, and the decision is based on some condition. So now that we know that we can either say right path or left path, or we can say, do I execute this code or do I execute this other piece of code? Now let's go and see how we code this other path to complement the if statement using the else statement. Here we are where we left off last time. So last time we introduced the if statement, right? And then here it is, the if statement. And we say that if this conditional operation at the end of it comes out to be true, then we will run this piece of code. And if it's false, then this entire code gets ignored, right? So now what I want to do is, I want to do what happens when this is not true, right? I want to do something for when the condition is false, right? I have code for when the condition is true, but now I want it when it's false. So in here, let me delete this one. We only have to wear one sweater when it's cold for this scenario. So now what I want to do is, I want to write code for when it's not cold, right? So I want to tell the user, hey, I am not wearing a sweater. So again, I'm going to make a scope, and all the code that I write here will be executed when the condition is false. So the logic is the same way as the if statement. So here I can just go and say printf does not wear sweater. I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna change this to wear sweater, and then this is printf, right? So if it's cold, we want it to show wear sweater. If it's not cold, then we want it to show does not wear sweater. Actually, let's say does wear sweater. So it looks the same, right? We just have the not keyword that is different. Now, obviously, if I run this, this will always run because it's just a scope. So what I can do is, to simulate the selection programming structure, is I can ask the opposite question of this question, right? So the condition here is it cold? And we figure that out by running this conditional operation. So what I can do is I can ask the opposite of that question. And we talked about that in a previous video. How we do the opposite of a condition is by using the not operator. So what I can do is I can copy this entire condition, and then I can come here and I can say if, and then inside of this if statement, or this inside of my where I put the condition in the if statement, what I can do is I can put everything in there, but I want to negate it. I want to do the opposite of it. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this in parentheses, and then whatever the answer is, I'm going to negate it, right? By using the not operator. So in here, this equates to is it cold? This equates to is it cold? By using the not, then is it not cold, right? It's the opposite. Now, if I do this, this will be completely functional. If I run this right now, we know for a fact that 50 is not less than 45, right? So this is going to be false, and false and anything is going to be false. So this is not going to work. And what's going to end up working is this. So we go here and we're going to show that we does not wear sweater, goes out the door, right? And if we make it cold, let's make this 40 degrees, and we actually run this, does wear sweater, goes out the door, right? So now we have the selection programming structure. We have one path, which is the true path, right here, and then we have the false path, which is right here. The problem with this is that we are asking the question twice. So the computer has to figure out where it's cold twice. First, it has to do these computations to find out if it's cold. Then it has to do these computations one more time to find out it's cold, and then negate it to make it, the opposite, and then it knows what to do. And because the selection programming structure is such a big thing, certainly there is a way to just simply say, hey, C++ or whatever other programming language, because this applies to other programming languages, is when the condition is true, I want you to do something. Otherwise, use something else. Well, in here, the word otherwise is what tells us that if it doesn't meet that condition, I want it to do something else, right? So in here, instead of using the word otherwise, we use the word else. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to grab all of this and I'm going to delete it, and I'm just going to replace it with the word else. And so what happens here is that this else keyword, this else statement, is attached to the previous if statement, this one right here. So what this says is, if this is true, do this. Else, do this, right? So if this is true, then do this. But if this is false, then do this, right? So I think the word otherwise is more appropriate, but else is a shorter word, so it makes more sense to use it because we don't want to write a lot of stuff. So if this is true, do this. Otherwise, do this, right? That's how this works. So this else keyword is connected to this if keyword, and they're together. The else statement cannot live on its own. It's impossible, right? Because you need an if statement to test a condition to find out whether it's true or false for you to actually go in here. So without the if statement, the else statement cannot live. That's why I suggested to watch the other video before watching this one. So just to show that it works, and so you can see in an easier way, I'm going to delete this condition, and instead I'm just going to put true, right? So if it's true, well, if true is true, well, true is always true, right? Because it is true. So then this is what's going to happen. So let's just run it, and what's going to say is does wear sweater. Okay, there it is, does wear sweater. Now if I make this false, then this should not run, and this should run, right? Okay, let's run it. Does not wear sweater goes out the door. So whatever you put inside of the scope of the if statement will get run when this is true. But whatever you put inside of the scope of the else statement will run when this is false. And this is how you get the selection programming structure. So I introduced the concept of it like more than 10 videos ago, and we had to talk about several things to understand about conditions, about how the operations to mix these conditions together and be able to actually have a functional selection programming structure and to learn how to code it. Now, because you know that anything you want to put in, you can put anything you want inside of a scope, you can literally write anything you want. You can code anything you like. inside of this scope, and that will only run when it's true, and this will only run when it's false. And that is powerful. I mean, there's simple things that you can think about. For example, imagine you're on a website, and then you have a different theme depending on the time of the day. You have a light theme for the morning, and then you have a dark theme for the night. Well, what do you ask? If it's late at night, you use the dark theme. So you put here, use dark theme, and you write all the code to make the dark theme happen. If it's not night, then you use what? You use the light theme, and you put all the code that you need to do to make the light theme happen. So now you can see that you can make all sorts of things. Thankfully, thanks to the fact that you can make decisions and test conditions. Now, before we wrap up this video, just to talk about a few things to know when using the else statement. Like I said earlier, the else statement is connected to the previous if statement. You cannot have code in between the if and the else statement. I cannot come here and say int x equals 5 plus 3, right? This does not work. You know, it doesn't like it. Hey, I'm expecting something, because the else statement cannot be alone. It has to follow an if statement. So no code in between. And it doesn't make sense, right? It's like if you are about to make a decision, you're in the middle of the decision, and then you're like, wait, let me do something else. Like, no, you have to finish your decision, or you put your something else before you actually do the decision. So no code in between. Where you put the else statement doesn't matter. Again, in the previous video, I mentioned that I like my curly braces in front of the statement, which means I like to have this curly brace also in front of the statement. And even more importantly, I like to have the else statement like this. So this is how I like to structure my if else. So I can quickly see, okay, this is where my else begins. Anything inside of that, that's what belongs to the else. And anything over here is what belongs to the if. That's how I like to do it. You don't have to, right? You can do things like that. It doesn't matter. Spacing, again, does not matter. Now you know how to use the selection programming structure in code using the if and else statements. And you can do a variety of things. These things are used everywhere. And as a little exercise, what I suggest to you is, as you use your cell phone, as you navigate some website, you use some application, you play a video game, think, can you recognize some if-else statements? Like just visually, like saying, oh, whoever wrote this code, certainly right here they have to have an if-else statement. Sort of like how I gave you an example about toggling between the light theme and the dark theme, right? Just as a little exercise for you to just get in the mindset of that logic of how do you go on about and create questions that, in this case, are implemented using the if-else statements. So in the next few videos, we're still going to talk a little bit more about the selection programming structure, because we need to also consider what happens when you need to make a decision within another decision. And even worse, what happens when you need to make a decision among 10 different paths? So in here we say the right path and the left path. But what if you have 10 paths to choose from? How do you code 10 paths? And here we only have 2. So we'll talk about those 2. So make sure you check out those as well, because they are equally important. All right. If you found this video useful and you don't mind, leave a like. If you have a question, feel free to leave a comment below. If you're new to this channel, check out the series, check out the channel. And if you like what you see, subscribe, be safe, and peace out.